Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be using if statements along with elif statements. So in our last program we only worked with if statements. This one we're going to expand it a little bit and see how we can use elifs. Now in our last program we also used role equals manager and age equals 45. I just copied these over from the last one. And if we go ahead and run this, you'll notice that we get two outputs. So you get a free McDonald's coffee because the person is a manager, and manager, since role holds the word manager, really what's happening is you'll actually get the word manager here. And since manager equals manager, this will be true. And since this is a true statement, this code will run, which is what it's showing up here. So now this one will be skipped because this is not true. They are not an employee, they're a manager. And then also the person's age is 45. So it also says no discount on your coffee. But we don't want it to give you two different outputs. Since these are all kind of related to being able to get a McDonald's coffee free, discounted, or not at all, we would like only one of them to run. And the way that we can do that is using an elif. Now, if statements allow, obviously, a bunch of code to run, like a bunch of if statements can run. An elif only allows one statement to run. So all we need to do is we need to start it off with an if statement like before. And then we're just going to go ahead and change all these to elifs, which is the shortened version of else if. Most languages have it written like that, but Python has elif instead. So now just running this code, you see that we get the output of you get a free McDonald's coffee, which is what we want because they are a manager. And one thing I want to point out here is that the order in which these are written is really important. Because if we were to, well, let me just play this one out. Now, manager is the most important role because that's the only one where they get a free coffee. So it makes sense for this very unique role to be first. The next one are the discounts. Discounts are second in importance. So those should go after the most important one, which they are. And then the least important one, because most people would fit underneath this category, or the least rare, is their age. So this is set up in a really good way that is useful for importance. Now, if we were to move these around and change this, notice that we get errors here, and we want to change this to an if statement because the first one always has to be an if. The ones after it can be elifs, and we can also have ifs down here too. But if we were to run this, we would get back to the idea that two of them can run because now this one's still true and then also this one's still true. But if we go ahead and put on an elif, you'll see that we no longer get a discount, which is what we don't want to happen because the manager role should always get free coffee. But because age is first, the age gets figured out first. And since this statement right here is true, all the rest of the statements will be skipped. That's basically what elifs do. If one of them is true, the other ones won't even be checked because it doesn't matter. So in review, we start with an if statement, which is what we did here. And the rest of them can be elifs, only if we only want one of them to run. And then importance or order of importance is vital. So we're going to move this back to where the manager is first because this is the most specific thing. That's the most rare. So that one should go first. And then after that, these conditions, and then the least important condition last. Hopefully you guys learned how nice elif statements are. If you missed it, you guys can go back and take a look at if statements. And if you guys want to learn a little bit more, this little last part of conditionals, you guys can take a look at else statements right here. All right, take care.